Welcome back to London Beautiful Life. We are at Right Here, Right Now world premiere at Picturehouse Central in Soho. How did Right Here, Right Now come about?
It's hard to say exactly where it started, but for the last 5 years maybe, I have had a quite vivid inclination that I wanted to make a live concert caption of some sort. What had intrigued me and kind of limited my ability to do so in the past was simply because I had very high hopes and very, very high standards set for what I wanted to make, because I wanted the final product, to use an ugly word, to be very not similar to anything else that you'd seen. And throughout the years of having made these episodes, there was also I had a feeling that as much as I like these episodes, but they're made pretty quickly and they differ in quality a little bit in between each portion of a 3 or 4, depending on when we made them and with whom and all that. And I felt that it would be great to make a little bit of a longer format episode where it was just like slightly, I'm not going to say better made, because I'm not saying that, but just invested a little bit more time into, and so it would be like an episode that was worthy. It was equal to like 10 episodes. Like it's I don't know what episode we were at, 18 or 20 or something like that, and this would be episode 20 to 26. You know, so
obviously being on tour is like quite busy as well, but having a production company filming everything that's going on, what was that like?
Great. I mean, it was obviously not a documentary team, because it's not a documentary film per se. So having the film team playing or filming whilst we were performing was not very strange. I think that the odd thing that I think we felt a little is that even though our show is fairly, I wouldn't say scripted, but it's pre-rehearsed. So we tend to do things that, because it's very theatrical, so we do it pretty much the same way every night, we think. But when we have to do it several times exactly alike, we noticed that we were actually quite inconsistent. Because there's still a lot of, I must credit us in saying, like, it's actually more, there's a lot of individuality that happens from night to night that you will never see if you're up close. At least you will never see the exact same thing. And that was to my it was a nice surprise, but for an editing point of view, that was pain, because we had to work a lot in editing to make it fit. So that was a surprise.
How did Right Here, Right Now come about? What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, it was sort of, I guess, percolating as a upcoming project for Tobias to figure out when the right time to make the Ghost movie was. And that time was now. That time was, last year. This is a year, without a Ghost album right now and without a tour. So this is kind of the thing, and he wanted to use this as this big piece of storytelling in between these album cycles. So I assume in their big grand design, this was the perfect time to do it. I had said, if you ever need any help with it, let me know, and then they let me know.
So what was it? You filmed over 2 tour dates, didn't you? And LA.
Yes. So the secret weapon of this, hopefully he'll be here soon, Jim Parsons, who with his just mercenaries at Fortress, this company, what they do is they just get into a live event and they cover it, they shoot it, they execute it brilliantly. And I got to watch him, and he'd worked with the film's producer Jonas Ackerland a lot. They came together as a partnership, and at the forum filmings I was able to just pick their brains and say, how do you know that's the choice, how do you do this? And it's really educational for me. So it was 2 nights there. Then the day after the 2 nights, we filmed the whole thing many, many more times with no audience. There's certain scenes in the movie that at the concert were done just for the movie. Pieces that had never been part of the Ghost tour. So those were filmed 4 or 5 more times. And then 6 months later, we filmed the rest of the movie in Brooklyn.
So I'm going to ask you about Eurovision. How did you find it?
Yeah, great.
Was it nerve-wracking, being like, obviously you're performing in front of the whole world. How was that?
The performing was fine. They just ran us through the mills in rehearsals, which was a bit tiring, but I don't really get nerves. It's where I feel most at home, so it was good.
What was the most the biggest highlight for you whilst doing Eurovision?
I think qualifying for the final, since my country hadn't done that in a long time, and there was a lot of my country who really didn't want me to succeed, but a whole portion who did. So it was great.
I mean, you did amazing for Ireland, because I remember when Ireland won it back to back, didn't they, years ago? And it's been years since like a great result like what you've done for it. So congratulations. Were you expecting the results? Were you happy with who won? And were you expecting the results?
Of course, I was happy with who won. Hello, Nemo, non-binary, queers winning. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like it's an amazing showcase, an amazing platform.
Would you ever do it again?
I don't know.
And also, lastly, what can we expect from you for the rest of the year?
So I've got my first ever headline tour going across Europe and UK and Ireland, which is a very big tour, and I've got lots of music. I've got more festivals. A lot of meetings, so a lot of exciting things for Bambie Thug.
I'm very excited, and thank you so much for today.
So much.